Chud the Builder ain't never getting out. Like, he is never getting out. The way this man just stood in front of this goddamn judge, and the judge said, what you did at that courthouse just violated your parole. You ain't never gonna see the light of day. And you ain't getting out for your terroristic threats online. You not getting out because you violated your parole, because you was already in jail and arrested for doing what you did at that goddamn restaurant, not paying your bill and recording inside a facility they say you couldn't record in. Baby, and on top of that, a goddamn officer got on the stand and said that Chud the Builder popped his gun off before they hit the ground. Or said, how would you know that? He said, well, on the video, it shows the casing being ejected from the gun in midair while y'all standing up. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but does that take away him being able to use self-defense in this case? Because it kind of seems like, bruh, that was attempted you know what. And he already facing 3 counts for the restaurant, and his bond is still $1 million. Well, that just put a smile on my face.
Chud the Builder is in serious trouble. Now, I was online on panels having certain conversations with black people that was defending Chud, right? And saying that this black man swung on Chud first, and he initiated the confrontation between Chud the Builder and the man when he was ultimately pow. I believe it was 5 times, right? And Chud ended up pow himself. But I had a debate with Tommy Sotomayor about this. And Tommy was adamant in defending Chud in the sense that Chud used words, but the words didn't justify him being slugged, right? Punched. But now we're finding out that there was all lies, because the police officers got on the stand and said, that's not what happened. We have video evidence of him firing his firearm before there was ever a confrontation, a physical confrontation. Chud the Builder, people was trying like hell to get him out of jail. They was harassing the bail bondsman because the bail bondsman said that they didn't want anything to do with it because of all the racial rhetoric that he was putting out, and they do business to everybody. Now, they was posting, Chud will hopefully be out next week. The only thing keeping him in is the failure to appear warrant. Even though he was in Davidson County custody the night before court, and then was relinquished back into Montgomery County as part of what seemed to be a pre-planned plot to keep him in as long as possible. Once out, Chud will be evicted from his home he's lived in for 10 years. We are looking for a new place to live, and as he is now being ordered by the court to report to the address of where he will be. Any donations to help fund our move and daily expenses in the meantime is greatly appreciated. And that was Chud basically reaching out to his minions and his folks. But Chud got some bad news, right? Chud got some horrible news in court.
Online streamer known as Chud the Builder is expected in a Nashville courtroom.
Jaxie is back in studio with us now to show us what's planned for today. Jaxie, good morning.
Nicole and Mark, Dalton Etherly, a.k.a. Chud the Builder, is scheduled to appear in Davidson County today as he faces 3 misdemeanor charges stemming from an incident at a downtown Nashville hotel. Etherly, who is also facing separate felony charges in Montgomery County, is set for a preliminary hearing before Judge Melissa Blackburn in General Sessions Court. Court records show the Nashville cases include theft under $1,000, disorderly conduct, and resisting arrest. The charges are from a May incident at Bob's Steak and Chop House inside the Omni Hotel. Investigators say Etherly live streamed inside the restaurant after staff asked him not to, then refused to pay a more than $370 tab after being told to leave. At his last court appearance, a bench warrant was issued after he did not appear for a scheduled Davidson County hearing. We'll be following the hearing this morning to learn whether this case moves forward.
Now, see, all of the racist, vicious, foul things that Chud has said about black people, this come back to haunt him. Because, and I told you guys, I said while he was putting those tweets up, conclusion to be an unalive chimp on the ground. He made that video while he was in a restaurant talking about black people and unaliving black people, and he's tired of them in this country and he want them out. Like, all that stuff came out in court, and the judge saw that and said, oh no, you're a danger to society. We're not gonna, we can't have you out here amongst regular human beings, right? You're bound to do any darn thing. No, I would be in trouble if I freed you and allowed you to go out and intermingle with people. No, we can't have that. We're gonna have to revoke your bail. We're gonna have to keep you here, right? We're gonna have to keep you here because remember, they made it where he would have to get like 10 bail bondsmen, and so his people, they fought like hell. They went and got all that, so they really thought that he was coming home, but he ended up putting his foot in his mouth with all the stupid stuff. Because remember, they say, well, you have freedom of speech, you're right, but also the government is supposed to have you have a freedom of protection as well. So if you're saying hurtful hate speech amongst another group, they have to protect that group from you because they don't know what you might do. So yeah, you have a freedom to say, but you're not without consequence when you say certain things.
Influencer Chud the Builder will remain behind bars, accused of attempted murder and linked to dozens of violent videos online. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. News 2's Lexi Wilson explains what happened in a Davidson County courthouse this morning.
Dalton Etherly, better known as Chud the Builder, enters a Davidson County courtroom Wednesday. The social media influencer facing charges in Nashville after he refused to stop live streaming inside a restaurant at the Omni Hotel and then refused to pay. But the hearing today mostly focused on a separate case in Montgomery County. Prosecutors played videos and reviewed social media posts made by Etherly, posted before the shooting outside the Montgomery County courthouse. They were racist and violent.
So even social media would recognize what he's saying is improper?
Yes, sir.
And improper is a nice word, correct?
Yes.
All right.
Etherly is charged with attempted murder in that case. Etherly's attorney argued the court should consider threats his client receives online.
Mr. Etherly has made complaints about people making threats to him, correct? In fact, to the local sheriff's, well, I say local, we're in Davidson County, but to the Montgomery County Sheriff's Department, he's made several complaints.
Yes.
Including people threatening to chop his infant son's head off.
In the end, the judge sided with prosecutors and revoked Etherly's Davidson County bond, citing concerns about the violent social media posts. Etherly's attorney filed a motion to dismiss the charges in Nashville, but that was not addressed today.
Mr. Etherly's looking at being held without bond on misdemeanors that he ought to have been cited for. And he's charged with a resisting arrest that I think even the state would capitulate as improper.
His next court appearance in Davidson County is set for June 25th. Etherly is also facing a $1 million bond in the Montgomery County shooting case.
Now, I believe that Chud is being sacrificed because of the Cyrus Belton case, the Carmelo Anthony case, and the injustices that we've seen that's going on within these cases. America's right now is like a powder keg, right? You see the situation going on with the Asian community where Black Americans are boycotting the Asian community. Chud was just so egregious to the point where they can't even make excuses for Chud. At least they can make excuses in the Carmelo Anthony case. They can spin and bend and twist the Cyrus Belton case. But when it comes to Chud, he was so egregious. And it was on video where you can clearly see him walking up to people, breaking the law, harassing and antagonizing them with hateful and harmful rhetoric with a firearm that somebody ended up being pow. The state of Tennessee wants nothing to do with him because even if they are racist, they don't want to be overt. They want to be under the wraps, right? They want to do it from a systematic and institutional position, not overtly. This ain't the 30s or the 40s or the 50s or the 60s, right? So when they come out and say, well, America's not racist, but then we bring out Chud, they want to disassociate themselves. So Chud is in a position now where the majority of the people he would expect to help him want nothing to do with him, right? Because he's a representation of what a lot of them are, but what they're trying not to look like, right? But Chud is on his own. Now, there was a police officer that took the stand and really buried Chud, buried him. Because like I said, they're doing away, they're wiping their hands with Chud.
Happening now, the controversial online streamer known as Chud the Builder is making an appearance in a Nashville courtroom. Dalton Etherly faces 3 misdemeanor charges stemming from a May incident at Bob's Steak and Chop House inside the Omni Hotel. Investigators say Etherly live streamed inside the restaurant after staff asked him not to, then refused to pay. Etherly also faces separate felony charges in Montgomery County for a shooting investigation. During Etherly's court appearance, one investigator on the stand recalled the shooting.
Shots are shown to be fired prior to them hitting the ground.
Shots are being shown to have been fired prior to that?
Yes.
And how do we know that?
I can see, or in the courthouse video, it shows the casing ejecting from the firearm. It also shows the ricochet off the concrete planter.
Okay.
Prior to them hitting the ground.
So Mr. Fox hadn't been hit at that point, correct? If you're seeing a ricochet in one casing.
I would assume so.
The judge denied Etherly's release today, citing violent posts he's made on social media. Etherly is also facing a $1 million bond in the Montgomery County case.
So that right there is the nail in the coffin. The Chud is buried, right? And I'll say to you, Tommy Sotomayor out there, and when we was having this discussion, you was incorrect, my brother. The police officer took the stand and said, no, Chud is seen on video firing the shot before there was even a physical confrontation. He's buried. It's a wrap. He's over. You stick a fork in him. They are wiping their keisters with him because he's out here making them look bad, and they don't want nothing to do with him. They don't want anything to do with him. But y'all gotta let me know what y'all think, man. What's y'all opinion on this when it comes to Chud the Builder? A lot of you Chud the Builder supporters out there, what are you saying now, right? And I believe that there's a lot of things that's going to be uncovered going forward in regards to Chud and Carmelo Anthony going forward. We just got to be patient, pay attention to what's going on. And I think a lot of things is going to be a process, but a lot of things is being uncovered. But y'all let me know what y'all think, man. If you made it this far in the video, hit that like button, subscribe to Street Media TV, leave your comments in the comment section. Remember, I love y'all. Till the next time. Peace.